So we've both worked for others. We've got quite an extensive set of experience and we've been our own bosses. What's that taught you, being your own boss?
So I think what it's taught me in particular is that your own sense of direction is right, or right enough. Just go with what you feel like is the right way to take your business or your team or your brand or your product in that given time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why you stand at the front and do what you do and didn't want to be the one necessarily who was not being expected to have the answers. So stick with that confidence. And I think that really taught me, especially when I work for myself, that's really valuable. Just knowing, yeah, I'm on the right lane here. I think that's one important thing. I think the other thing, that being a lifelong agency gal, although I have worked within clients on secondments, which was always very interesting, but being a lifelong agency gal, I also know that pitches suck. And they are the worst way to pick up clients, but also because they set up that client-agency relationship from the get-go as if the thing that makes us most valuable is our strategic brains, our thinking, and we are expected to give it away at pitch or to have the answer without ever engaging with the client. What a load of rubbish. So yeah, they suck and I hate them. And I'd rather that, we get to know each other on a more equal footing.
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to that sort of like, why would you expect someone coming from the outside to know better than you are? They might have a bright idea, but yeah, the joy comes in working together, not working against each other and then having that kind of standoff, especially if you get that sort of poker face pitch scenario, which is just the death. We're passionately on something. I definitely know how hard it is to be your own boss, not just to come up with the answers and feel that you know enough and you've done enough to get at least the right enough answer to get you to the next base camp. I don't expect to be able to fully foresee the future. And in fact, anybody thinks they can is certainly going to struggle. But at least to get to that point where you feel like, right, this is the right next decision to do and to do next. That's really, really hard because you don't necessarily have that sparring partner. You don't necessarily have that huge network of research documents or experts that you're calling on. There's a lot of, I call it lonely work. That can be really, really hard. And I think also, to be frank, just, structuring your day. I mean, if you're the leader, everybody's looking to you, whether that's because you need to sort of fill it meaningfully or whether your day is being filled by other bump that you don't seem to be able to get away from and actually do the thinking. I mean, for me, the leaders, you have to be a couple of years out and you're thinking, really, ideally, and leave your best people in your team thinking further in. And then, the next section, doing the actual execution, you have to be ahead of the game. You've got to be the visionary. And I think that's so extraordinarily hard to do when you're your own boss, because you get mired down in the daily do and you get really stuck in the most immediate and urgent, but not necessarily the most important. And I think that's super, super hard.